My wife's secret lover thought he was safe. But when he married another woman, I sent him a gift. He opened it, read the note, and immediately froze. His wife looked over his shoulder and started crying. My wife called me begging, please don't do this. It was an ordinary Thursday night. The house smelled of cinnamon and vanilla, my wife's favorite scent. Our small living room was dimly lit by the soft glow of a lamp, casting shadows on the comfortable, worn-out couch we'd spent so many nights on. The hum of the refrigerator was the only sound, the kitchen filled with the faint scent of the roast I had prepared for dinner. In this cozy bubble, everything seemed perfect. A life built together day by day. Her laughter echoed from the kitchen as she asked if I wanted another glass of wine. I nodded, admiring how effortlessly she fit into the rhythm of our life. The sound of her footsteps on the hardwood floors felt like home steady, reassuring. She was my partner, my confidant, my love. But there were moments. Moments when her smile seemed a little too forced, her phone tucked away just a little too quickly when I walked into the room. The subtle shift in her gaze when she thought I wasn't looking. It was easy to dismiss, to convince myself that I was being paranoid. But the feeling lingered. And as each day passed, it grew stronger. One night, as we sat at the table enjoying our dinner, she left her phone face down. A small text notification lit up the screen. A name I didn't recognize, Chad. Her hand lingered a little too long on the phone, her fingers brushing the edge before she quickly picked it up and turned it off. A casual gesture, maybe. But I couldn't shake the chill that ran down my spine. Days later, it happened again. The same name. A strange sense of unease knotted me, but I convinced myself it was nothing. Until the late night started. She'd come home after work later and later, excuses, flying meetings, overtime, drinks with colleagues. Yet the smell of perfume was never the one I had bought for her, and there was always an unfamiliar trace of something else in the air. I started to notice the changes. Her attention to detail waned when she stopped making the effort to kiss me goodbye, to share little things about her day. And there were more secrets, texts hidden, calls unanswered, her eyes avoiding mine just long enough to make me wonder. Then one night, I found the piece of evidence I had been dreading. A text left open from Chad. A simple message, I miss you, can't wait for tonight. And just below it, a picture. A picture of my wife's hand intertwined with his. The realization hit me like a punch to the gut, knocking the air out of my lungs. It all made sense now. The late night meetings, the avoidance, the secretive behavior. My wife had been seeing someone else. Chad. I stared at the phone, my mind spinning, the pieces falling into place. I wanted to scream, to shout, to confront her, but my hands trembled and my throat went dry. I couldn't believe it. The next day, I watched her from the kitchen as she got ready for work. She was so calm, so unaware. She kissed me goodbye, and I forced a smile, pretending that everything was fine. But I knew what had been happening behind my back. The betrayal felt like a weight on my chest, suffocating me with every breath. My body was shaking, my heart pounding in my ears. It wasn't just the affair, it was the years of trust, the lies, the shattered illusion of a perfect life. The woman I had loved, built my world around, had betrayed me in the most devastating way possible. That night, I confronted her. She was sitting on the couch, casually flipping through a magazine when I walked in. My voice was calm, almost too calm. "Who is Chad?" Her face went pale, her eyes darting toward the door. The guilt was written all over her face. She stood up, but I held up my hand, stopping her. "No, I want answers. I want answers." The silence between us was thick, suffocating until finally she confessed. The words were like daggers, each one deeper than the last. "It's been going on for months," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "I didn't know how to tell you. The world felt like it was collapsing around me. How had I missed it? How could I have been so blind?" The confrontation was inevitable. I had to meet Chad. The man who had been sneaking into my life, stealing my wife from me. I found out where he lived, a quiet, upscale neighborhood. I parked a block away, my heart racing in my chest, adrenaline coursing through my veins. I felt the heat of the anger inside me, but I also felt something else, determination. This wasn't just about exposing them anymore. This was about reclaiming my dignity. When Chad answered the door, he had no idea who I was at first. But when I told him, his face twisted in that arrogant, smug way men like him always do when they think they're untouchable. He invited me in, assuming I was just another angry husband, ready to shout and storm off. But I wasn't like the others. I was ready for this moment. I grabbed him by the collar, slamming him into the wall. You think I didn't know about you? I growled, my voice low and dangerous. You thought you could play me for a fool? His eyes widened, but before he could say anything, I shoved him back, the sound of his body hitting the wall echoing in the hallway. Then I looked at his wedding ring. You're marrying her tomorrow? I said, my voice cold. But I have a gift for you. A special one. I pulled out a small, neatly wrapped box from my coat pocket. He looked at it, confusion in his eyes. But when he opened it, his face went pale. The ring he was planning to give his bride, the one I had stolen from his suitcase the night before, was there. The note I had written on it was simple: she belongs to me. His expression turned from confusion to panic. You don't understand, he stammered, but I wasn't listening. I could hear my wife's voice in the background, calling my name, begging me to stop. But I didn't. She already knows, I said, turning to leave. And now you'll never forget me. The days that followed were a blur. But one thing was clear, I wasn't done. I watched, waited, and plotted. My revenge would be slow, methodical, precise. For each betrayal, each lie, there would be a price to pay. I made sure Chad's reputation was in shambles: pictures, texts, the video of his confession to me. Everything. I watched as his life crumbled. His promotion, gone. His friends, gone. His career, destroyed. And with each passing day, I could feel the satisfaction of watching him suffer for what he had taken from me. As for my wife, her fall from grace was even more spectacular. The affair, the lies, the deceit, it all came to light in the worst possible way. Her friends abandoned her, her family turned their backs, and as I watched from the shadows, I knew she was realizing that she had lost everything. And it was my gift to her. The fallout was brutal. My wife begged, cried, called me every name in the book. But I couldn't feel sorry for her anymore. Her words were meaningless, and her tears were nothing more than the remnants of a woman who had lost everything. I looked back at the destruction I had wrought, and for the first time, I felt a sense of clarity. This was justice. Revenge had rebuilt me, but I knew the consequences. I had become someone I never thought I would be, a man consumed by the need for vengeance. As I sit here now, in the silence of my once peaceful home, I can't help but wonder if it was all worth it. The revenge, the destruction, it's all done, but at what cost? Some betrayals don't break us, they build us into something stronger. Something darker. And now, as I look into the mirror, I can't quite recognize the man staring back at me. Like the video if you think justice was served. Subscribe for more stories of betrayal and revenge.